I really don't. I would like proper representation to
Well,
help here.
but then I was, and I'm not trying to sound callous. If you wanted proper representation, you need to contact either legal aid or the other types of legal assistance center. But this matter has been on the docket and we're not adjourning this at this point in time because you show up here today without representation. I can't provide that representation for you.
And
I'm not allowed to do that.
I
So
understand.
I'm now asking if you have any questions of this individual pertaining to these exhibits.
I mean, yes, I do, but I feel like it's not gonna get addressed anyways because I have no proof of me. I have no nothing.
Do you have any questions?
I mean, like I said, we have already discussed so many of these things and she's saying we haven't and we have. I have no proof of that. I have no proof. Her word against mine.
Well, right now, she's sworn to tell the truth. And so if you have questions you'd like to ask, you can ask her under oath. And then she will give her answer and you can ask your next question. And then I'll be able to swear you in and you can tell your statement under oath. But right now, I can't give you further legal advice, ma'am.
There's no way we can adjourn this so I can seek legal representation. I have been trying to get it for the last couple court hearings and I've been in a room with a conference room
last couple.
and I didn't know what to do.
Well, but ma'am, see, if you don't know what to do, here it is. If you wanted to seek legal assistance, contacting legal aid or legal assistance center, or even inquiring of attorneys, those are things that are well within your parameter, and obviously something that would be, probably recommended if you didn't understand what you were doing. But rather than that, we find ourselves here in trial today, and now you're asking for that. That's not going to happen. We're in trial right now.
Because I didn't know it was gonna happen this way. I had no clue. I have no idea.
All right, well, I'm sorry that that's how you decided to treat today's notice, but, all right, any questions?
Please, Heather, please, just let me get this baby out of me and finish off the lease until April. I will be out by April 25th, the court date the date that I'm supposed to be out. Let me get this baby out of me, please. It is just driving me crazy. I have a bad hip. My grandma just got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. I lost my mom back in June. I am falling apart. And I feel like the violations we have addressed, I have addressed each and every one of them. I have Shelby's help a lot. Yes, I do. She might have overstayed her 14 days. I understand that. But I am by myself. That's all. That's it.
Have the violations been addressed? I guess I'm gonna just pull a question out of that statement. She's indicated that she has addressed the violations.
No, she has not.
What violations are yet to be addressed?
Any of them.
All right. Any other questions?
Oh.
All right. Anything further from this witness?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Well, actually, Your Honor, I will just, we will be seeking a judgment today for the 10 days, but I will ask my client, Ms. Russell, are you willing to give any time beyond the January 16th date, which is the statutory minimum?
No.
All right. Okay, that kind of goes to the judgment time frame, but anything else of this witness?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
You may step down.
Thank you, sir.
Any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Do you wish to testify yourself?
I don't even know what that means.
Well, it means that I would swear you in, and then you would have to give your side of the story that you believe would give you the right to be there longer and to refute these matters. I mean, other than that.
I mean, I don't even know if it would help. Like I said, I gave my side. I'm just asking for.
Ma'am, if you're asking to testify, I need to swear you in first.
Sure,
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Very good. Go ahead.
Me.
Yeah.
I'm, like I said, I'm just asking for a little bit more time. Each one of these, I feel like we have addressed. I, like I said, the first one, that was my mother. She passed away back in June. The autopsy shows that it was just, she'd been sick her whole life. The Narcan was because of her history, but it didn't do anything because she did not overdose. She was pretty much dead before the police even had gotten there. She pretty much took her last breath right in my arms before they arrived. With my brother, we discussed this in her office and talked about it. She actually just kind of wished me the best with him. The unauthorized was Shelby Grauman. Shelby Grauman she has stayed there. I watch her kids here and there. Yes, I do. It's just really her helping me lately because it's been really hard. I can't barely get around anywhere in my apartment. The stuff on the balcony, I had that stuff out there the whole time since I moved in and never realized it, even until she come around the back and said something. The very next day, I had them gone in the Jeep that I was driving and had that taken out and moved. And we had discussed it. I don't remember what infraction it was, but we had discussed one of the infractions. It's just like we've had one of the infractions and then my brother's stuff happened. We went in her office to discuss it. And then I got the new vehicle and she called me and said, can you come get the new sticker for your new car? Like we had these issues and then everything's okay when I go talk to her. And there's been so much tension and I've been going through a bunch of stuff that I just haven't went and discussed anything with her because she makes me feel uncomfortable. But I have addressed each and every one of these. Like I said, maintaining the sanitary, the apartment, she had sent me a letter saying she was gonna come back and do another inspection and I had to have everything taken care of. She came back and did that inspection and I had everything addressed. I had everything to a T, everything that she would want done. It's just, I feel like these infractions, I feel like I'm not doing anything seriously wrong. I know they're infractions and I know some of these are against the rules, but like I said, I've addressed them all with her. I'm just trying to get this pregnancy done. I don't want to be there any more than she don't want me there. I have nowhere to go. I have checked my options. Like I said, I lost my mother, my grandmother, I'm losing her by the day. I have nothing. I have nowhere to go right now. I'm just trying to get my stuff, my head clear. I just want the baby out of me. And then in April, I'm fine. I'm gone. I have a younger child that'll be a year and 10 months or 10 days. I just have a lot going on right now. And I don't mind discussing stuff with her. I don't mind talking to her and keeping up with her. But she, like I said, she makes me feel uncomfortable, like I'm doing everything wrong. And I'm just trying to maintain being a mom, a single mom, and trying to take care of stuff the way I feel like I'm supposed to. And I feel like it's not ever good enough for her. But I mean, I don't know. I wish I would have came here with, like I said, legal representation, but there's just been a lot going on. That's all.
Do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor, sounds to me that I haven't heard any valid legal,
Well, she's in, there's some legal basis there. She's indicated that she's addressed many of these issues, like she's cleaned it up after in the sanitary aspect of it. And I do look at the indications there and there's certainly not, I mean, and I can understand getting a warning pertaining to them, but certainly that doesn't appear to be, a significant health concern or worrisome for the community. But and also would be things that would be fairly easily addressed, putting the clothes away and washing the dishes. So I don't know. She's indicated that she has addressed that. She's also indicated that she addressed issues out being placed out on the patio. Once after readily already admitted, she did make this statement that that they were there for extended period of time until she was advised that they're not supposed to be there, and then she took them in. So I don't know. Is that a significant violation? I don't know. But there are defenses.
The defense is to some, but not all, potentially, Your Honor. But I've heard her admitting to, the violations. But I don't have any further questions for the defendant.
All right. Then any other witnesses? All right. So let's have argument then.
Your Honor,
Well, I guess we can center the argument on what is the critical nature of just being 10 days?
Your Honor.
Because I'm not inclined.
Statutorily speaking, Your Honor, this is a termination of tenancy, and it could be based off of one lease violation or several lease violations. We have presented before the court today these several lease violations that have been taken place since this tenancy, and since the date of this hearing or this case before the court. My client indicated that there hasn't been anything. She hasn't written. Excuse me, I'm misrepresented. She hasn't written anything up because of this pending case. But you don't need one major violation. Several violations is enough to under the law to request a 10 days.
I don't disagree that there's violations.
There's a history of activity on the property that has put some of the tenants here the tenants are concerned for their safety, and my client sometimes the landlord-tenant relationship has ended, and I think that this is one of those times where it's kind of time for both parties to part ways, and so I'm not authorized to.
Parties are. I don't disagree with that, and it sounds like that is indeed the case here. My question is, why does it need to be in 10 days, and why couldn't we do it, say, on the 25th? That gives you plenty of time to get the place situated for anyone for a February rental.
That would have been my next question. That was part of my question when she was on the record.
Yes, that's why I understand. I know you tried that. So, but that's why I figured I'd try it. So there we are.
I appreciate that, Your Honor. It is my client has indicated clearly that she has no problem giving more than beyond the 10 days. However, I just think that any additional month would prejudice my client, because then we're talking about.
No, I'm not talking about going into another rental cycle timeframe. That's why I'm saying if we get it on the 25th, you can be out on the 25th. Gives her an opportunity to get the place cleaned up and get it back online for February. It gives you significantly more time than the 10 days. It's as far as I can stretch. I'm actually already stretching more than I probably should. But
the 25th, Your Honor, is a Saturday.
I wanted to do a Sunday then. The 26th, I guess. So at the end of the day, at the end of that weekend, the 26th, you need to be gone. So I'm giving you another, essentially, it's another 10 days beyond that. What?
I have nowhere to go.
All right, well, you're gonna need to seek resources. But right now, you have not given me a basis that can provide me the wiggle room to keep you there.
I just feel like all the violations have been addressed. I feel like that's what I feel. I feel like I'm not doing anything against the law. I'm not doing anything like wrong, and everything that everything that we have discussed, like every little violation we have addressed. I guess I don't know her main reason for wanting me out when I'm doing so wrong that she wants me out. I'm so quiet. It's just me and my kid. Like, I have other kids that come in, but I see kids running around there all the time. And I don't say anything because they are children. I don't see the problem with kids running around there, even if they're not mine. I don't have a problem with anyone there. I have talked to a couple of my neighbors. I'm really good friends with one of my neighbors. The other girl I went to school with. I mean, I've addressed it. I've asked other neighbors if what's so wrong. And they say there's nothing. They don't know what. And that's every one of my neighbors that lives next to me. I just don't know what her main specific reason is. She gets rent because I go through HUD. So there's no like I don't understand why she is so against me and wants me out. I just don't get it. Like, I don't see what I'm doing that's so wrong. And every time that there is something, I make sure it's addressed. Like I said, even if I don't go to her specifically, like with the apartment being dirty, I take care of it myself. With the stuff out of the back patio, we might just not discuss it, but I made sure it was addressed. Like, I don't just leave her hanging and not take care of the things that she's got a problem with. I make sure I take care of them. The lighter fluid, the gas can, as soon as she mentioned them, I put them in my Jeep and transported it all the way to Blamo. Like, I am trying my hardest to make things work with her. I feel like there's multiple people there that have bigger issues that are doing worse things that I could even possibly imagine doing. And I'm not one of them. I feel like I'm just so quiet. It's just me and my child. And occasionally my nieces. My sister has 2 kids.
And your brother, and your sisters, and your mother.
My mother was there. Yes, that was back in June. And we had, like I said, she come over, her watched me cry. She held my hand even. And we addressed that. With my brother, she held on to my child while I went and parked my car, and then I went into her office and we discussed it after that. She listened to me. She let me cry and vent to her. And then with my other brother, I have no clue because he's never even around and we don't even get along.
Well, we're not talking about the one that's not there. We're talking about the one that is there. So, all right, anything else?
No.
You're looking for possession only.
Possession only, Your Honor.
Well, I don't have a basis to deny. I mean, sometimes the specific violations, and I'll agree the violations identified herein are not something that would raise the eyebrows a great deal, but this except I gotta tell you, one that is certainly significant is, you know, the repeated circumstances of unauthorized individuals residing there. But then we have unattended children. You may not have a problem with people, children being unattended, and other people's children being unattended may not be a concern. But the people or the children that are a concern or within your ward or control, that is something you should be concerned about, because that creates liability issues, not only for you, but for potentially the property community. You didn't really even address the issue pertaining to the dog and the fire, both of which could be safety concerns also for the property. You know, it's none of these necessarily jump out as something like, oh my gosh, we need to have you out. But you put it all together, it gets to be a fairly significant tone of issues and ongoing circumstances that just make this relationship, as counsel, in my opinion, rightly put it, that it just sounds like the relationship between the two parties here has come to an end, and it would be in everybody's best interest for you to vacate this premises. I will enter a judgment for possession. I will identify a possession date for you to be out on or before January 26th. This means that on January 27th, they have an ability to proceed further if you're not gone. All right, so you're going to have up through that weekend. I'm extending the time. I'm giving you twice the time that you would normally have to make arrangements, get some assistance, and move All right, quite
Heather
frankly.
will tell you how hard it was for me to get the assistance for this.
Okay.
Like I busted my
But-
butt, she said.
And
And we
that-
were,
and that
like,
may,
really
and that may
close in the
well be,
beginning.
and I sympathize with that. I don't enjoy doing this. Do you think that this is something I enjoy doing? I do not. Yet you came here, you presented a case that provided me with no options. You didn't give me an option. So
I've
I,
been to court before and I have, and I've been told, I mean, not in this case, but I've been to court before. I've had my own situations where I felt like there was gonna be a date where you guys would say, do you feel like you need proper representation? And I would have said yes.
when you have a matter set for a bench trial, that's a trial date. And this is not a criminal matter, so you're not gonna get a court-appointed
I
attorney.
have no idea. I had no idea with that. None.
You didn't realize this wasn't a criminal matter?
I don't understand none of this. No, I don't. I really don't.
All right, I'll share with you. It's not a criminal matter.
So there's no right to an appeal on this.
No, there's a right to an appeal. You have a right to appeal. You're gonna get once the judgment comes through, you're gonna see on that judgment, you're gonna have time frame for appeal. It's gonna be right on that judgment, right on that.
Your Honor, I'd like to add something to the judgment. My client has indicated that if the defendant vacates timely by January 26th, and that means turning in the keys, then we would stipulate to setting aside this judgment and dismissing the case, which the implications of this are to preserve her LIHTC property so that she doesn't lose the status. So basically, my client indicated that if they were to contact her, she would give a neutral reference. It wouldn't indicate anything that would adversely affect her.
So we can do this differently then. We can do this by way of conditional dismissal.
That's
All right? Now, I want you to listen, because this is an opportunity that frankly, I wasn't expecting it to come out this way. So this gives you a very significant benefit. If they do a conditional dismissal and that condition of the dismissal is for you to be out by the 26th, if you're out by the 26th, the case is going to be dismissed. You don't have a judgment against you.
It won't be on a record.
Well, there won't be a judgment. It's not on a record. There will be no judgment. But if you're not, they have a right to file an affidavit indicating you violated the condition of dismissal, and an automatic judgment will enter.
And I have actually, when all this first started, I called the person that got me in from On Point, and she said either way, it would not make a difference because the new tenants are gonna wanna know why I was evicted from this place. They're
The
gonna
new
wanna know
tenants
why-
have nothing to do with you. Has
Or
no-
the new property, whoever rents to me next is going through HUD is gonna wonder why I broke the lease from this place. So she said it's gonna look really bad either way.
It would be, Your Honor, it would be a voluntary move. She would have to consent to it, obviously, for it to be a conditional dismissal, and there's nothing in it that indicates that you are past due or that you have all, it's just, it would be a voluntary move.
I guess you're gonna have to. You obviously sought enough advice to find that out. I don't understand why you didn't have any, or did you seek other advice and people told you that there was no defense? The problem here that I'm worried about here is we got two different stories coming here, and they're right now bending rather significantly to give you the opportunity to tell wherever you go to next that I just decided that was not a good fit for us, and they let me leave, and I chose to take that advantage of that. But you don't have a judgment. If they question further than that, that's outside their control. It's outside my control. It's even outside your control. But frankly, it's going to be your story to tell. It's going to be, as you indicated, a voluntary termination on both parties. So. But I can't force you to do that. If you want a judgment that enters today, we'll do that. But I think it is, I would suggest to you that it would be to your advantage to have a conditional dismissal, but I can't force that. That's up to you.
So just to clarify, it would be a conditional dismissal with box 4B. It would indicate that you have until January 26, 2025 to clear your belongings, vacate the property, and turn the keys into the plaintiff. And then additionally, it would say that we would give you a neutral reference. if requested, neutral reference, the implications of that is that if somebody were to call, they would ask, was this person a resident here? Yes, she was. And that is all the information that they would give. They wouldn't give any additional information of any violations. It's a dismissal predicated on certain conditions being met. If you meet those conditions, this gets dismissed. So I don't see how that would adversely affect your LIHTC or anything.
Well, I mean, I don't know about whether it adversely or not, but it certainly is more beneficial than a judgment. But in any event, I can't force that. You can only, and we've got 2 more cases to hear, so I need to have it. How do you wish this to be done?
So if I file that, or if I go that route, I can't do the appeal.
There would, no, you'd
There
be,
would be
you'd be agreeing to a dismissal.
to a dismissal. I don't know which one, I really don't know what I should do. Like, I feel like I shouldn't represent myself. I feel like I should not be answering the question on my own. I don't have anywhere to go. Like, that's the,
With some, you can submit it as a judgment.
Okay. So this is hearing judgment for January 26th court date.
What's that?
January 26th court date.
If you have it submitted to me today, it's,
I
all
can have this.
right, well, there it is. All right.
Can I approve?
You're sure you want this as a judgment?
I really don't know what I should do. I feel like it's,
Cassie, I'm telling you right now, you're better off having a conditional dismissal. One, I can't, per my premier property, I can't tell them why you left. Even if it was a judgment, I still cannot tell someone why you left. I can tell them the date you rented and if I would re-rent, and it doesn't matter who it is, it's always if qualified. If you take this judgment, it sits on your record and it will affect you. I'm not trying to do that.
Unless I agree to set it aside and dismiss it upon satisfaction.
Right, if you take the dismissal,
But
it's
you still,
gone.
but you still have a judgment on the record. It's been dismissed.
But it shows as a dismissal and it's not gonna affect you.
I just want to come to an agreement with you, Heather.
That's the only agreement I can
Like,
come
we
with.
have been okay
All
from
right,
the beginning.
I've got to get to my other trials. Ma'am, do you want this? You want a conditional dismissal? Do you want the judgment?
I don't even know.
Judgment enters.
Exhibits, Judge.
I'm returning the exhibits to the plaintiff. This will need to go down to the clerks. They will issue, and ma'am, you'll need to go and you can get a copy of the judgment. And it does identify right on here your appeal rights. So please be sure to review those. And I wish you, let me kind of check that real quick. Make sure you have the right date in there for January 26th. Okay, great. I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.